In today's video we are gonna draw a retro landscape with a windmill. I'll show you how to use perspective tool in Procreate, apply different texture brushes for shading, and a few cool ways to draw trees along the way. Please download the tutorial files below the video and let's get started! I'll go ahead and create a new canvas. Let's click on this plus button and enter the dimensions, 2000 by 2500 pixels. In today's tutorial we're gonna use standard Procreate brushes from inking and painting sections. In addition to that, I've made a brush set with textures from my premium sets. These are Environment, Easy Paint, Papers, and Ink and Stipple brushes. You can get all these full brush sets and many more by joining me on Patreon. Also on Patreon I share in-depth tutorials and teach how to make brushes. You'll find a link to it below this video. The brushes in the tutorial bundle are free to download along with the color palette in the video description. With that being said, let's start drawing. First we need to change the background color, so even if we use white color for drawing, it will be visible. We need to go to background color and select color number 5 from the palette. It will change. Now in the color palette, let's grab color number 8, which is almost white. Go to Ink Inset and select a textured brush called Ink Bleed. I just don't like when the edges are too straight. The brush size is set to 20% and I will draw a line that will go like this, from the left side to the right with an angle. If you wait a second, it will become straight, so we can adjust the angle even more and even move it, like this. Now let's draw another line that will go slightly lower, and I will make it thinner on the right. Let's also adjust it a little, and after that I will try to drag the color between these two lines. I will slide to the right, and here we can paint it manually. Okay, now let's create a layer below this one and select this yellow color number 17. We can totally use selection in freehand mode. Tap this way, then connect the selection, tap, and if you have color fill on, it will be filled. Now let's add a few more hills behind. So we need to make another layer and place it underneath. This time I'm gonna use color number 13 and use the brush. Let's draw two arcs. The one on the left will be a little bigger than the one on the right. I will start from this edge and draw it this way. After that we can edit. I will move it this way, so it doesn't go up a lot, because we will need space for the windmill. We can also fill it. Adjust color draw threshold by sliding the pencil, and after that draw a smaller arc. Let me start from the right side this time, and it'll go this way. Let's also adjust it a little. Alright, now we can fill the shape as well. Now let's pick white color from this line. I will make another layer and add the outlines for these hills on top, so we can actually increase the brush size to make it with one stroke. This brush is pressure responsive, so the line will get thicker if you press more. I think 20% is fine. I will start by pressing more from this side. And then lower the pressure. We can also adjust it if needed. It may go a little inside the shape. And now it is fine. Let's draw another one. It will start from here, But actually here we can draw two lines. The first one, and then it'll go like this. I will make it a bit wider because of the perspective. We can paint it by hand. And before adding the patterns, let's draw the windmill itself. I prefer drawing all objects and even their parts on their own layers, to be able to apply shading and textures without using selection tool. This is one of the advantages of digital painting that I like to use. So let's create another layer to draw the windmill. Actually, it's first wall. I will drag the layer underneath to put it under all layers, and as the base color for the wall, let's select number 1. We'll be looking at the windmill from the side and a little from the bottom. And to keep the perspective and make it easier, let's do this. Go to Actions, Canvas, and enable Drawing Guide. After that, click Edit Drawing Guide and select Perspective Drawing. After that, we need to tap to create vanishing points. It can be 1 point, 2 point, or even 3 point perspective. This time I'm going to use the third option. So we need to create 3 vanishing points. For the first one, I will tap here on the right. And we can move it however we want. I will keep it here. For the second point, I will tap on the left side, on the same line. And the third one will be located on top, since we will be looking at the windmill from the bottom. I will tap somewhere here. And we can also adjust them. Alright, let's activate assisted drawing and click Done. If you like, you can change the colors of the grid. I will keep using ink bleed brush with the size set to 10% and draw the first wall on the left side. If you make the brush stroke fast, it'll follow the grid. So it's very easy. I'll draw like this. Then from this point, it'll go to the right and then down. Let's make sure all corners are connected, and after that we can fill this wall. After that, create another one below this layer. Also enable Drawing Assist. This wall will be exposed to the sunlight, so it needs to be lighter. We can select color number 8. And starting from this corner, draw a line going to the right. Then it'll go down. We also need to draw on the left side. To be able to fill this object. Now the second wall is ready too. We can draw a window on this wall. Let's make another layer for it. And also activate Drawing Assist. First I will select dark color number 11. And try to draw a square. Like this. Then it'll go down on both sides, and we need to connect it at the bottom with another line. Maybe I will make it a bit wider, this way. And then try to fill. If you like, you can paint it manually. Now let's add highlights. And we can do that by alpha locking the layer, instead of creating a clipping mask. I will grab this orange color from the wall and first draw a line on the side. Also on top. Now let's create one more layer Continue using Drawing Assist and draw this wooden stick where we will put the wings. Since I'm going to use dark color again to make it visible, I will reduce the opacity of the previous layer. We can set it around 60% or so. So let me select color number 4 this time and draw the side. I will make a line on the left, then it will go up and to the right. I will make another line going down and then connect these two. We need to erase this part. Let's fill it. And draw the highlighted part, so it will have the same color as this one. I will just draw a square. Starting from these corners. Then it will go down this way. And we can fill it. The part at the bottom will be even darker, because it is totally in shadow. So I will grab color number 11. Draw starting from this corner. And then connect these two lines. Let's fill it. And to make it look more like wood, I will pick orange color again and draw a triangle here. If you start making a line and then wait a second, it won't follow the grid, so it can go in any direction. I will just make a triangle like this, then paint it. This is what we will get. And we can also bring back the opacity of the layer number 7. After that, draw the roof. We can definitely merge these two layers, because they won't require any shading. And to start drawing the roof, let's create another layer under all layers. Enable Drawing Assist. First we will draw the bottom part of the roof, using color number 11. So let's find a point somewhere here, and draw two lines going to the sides. So it's like we are drawing a rectangle with perspective. Then the line will go this way, and the last one will go like this. They need to intersect. It is fine now. So we can fill the shape. The roof will be like a triangle, so we don't have to use perspective here. From this point, I will draw a line like this. Wait a second and move it. So it will go this way. Then I will draw another line parallel to it. It will be the shadow inside the roof. I think this one may go a little higher. Then I will connect them. And fill. Let's finish the roof by creating another layer above. And I'm gonna use color number 10. First draw a line starting from here and go in with an angle. We can make it even wider to make it more visible, and even go a little outside, like this. Then I will draw another line intersecting this one, and also following this edge of the roof. We can draw another one here, also match it with this edge. Then we can activate Drawing Assist and draw a line from here. Then starting from this corner, I will draw another line that will go slightly down. Let me make it wider. And after that we can fill it. So this side of the roof is ready. We only need to fill this part of the triangle. So let's make a layer under all layers again. Grab this light yellowish color, number 9. Just outline it inside, without Drawing Assist, and fill. It will be totally in shadow because of the roof. Let's have a look at it. And I will actually remove the drawing guide, since we don't need it. I think we can make this line go a little outside. So let me go back to this layer and continue this line. We need to wait a second or remove Drawing Assist. Maybe it will be even easier to draw like this. Now these shapes are ready. We can shade them. Let's first shade the roof, the red part of it. So I will pick the color right from here, create a layer above this one, add a clipping mask to it, and since we are using the same color, let's switch to multiply mode in the layers, so the color will get darker when we apply it. In painting set I have two of my favorite brushes. They are Nik Coral and Stucco. Let's start with Stucco. I will set its size to around 18% and make a couple of strokes at the bottom. Apply low pressure. We can try to press more at the bottom to darken it even more, and also on the side. After we did that, we can merge all the layers for the roof, since it is ready, and start shading the walls. Let's do this part first. So I will also make another layer above it, and then clip. I'm gonna use these colors, and since we had color number 1 as the base color, let's select the next one. Also I will change the brush to Nik Coral. And its size is set to 18% as well. We need to add the shadow under the roof, on the top part of the wall. So I will also apply low pressure here, to keep the texture. Now we can increase the brush size to around 29% and start making strokes diagonally on the wall, like this. I will also apply low pressure first, to get it textured, and try to make this line straight enough. After that I will switch to the previous brush. It was Stucco. And select the next color that is slightly darker. It's number 3. I will make more diagonal strokes, but start a little lower. Go down, and also make a couple of vertical strokes to blend these two colors together. Finally, we can select color number 4, that is the darkest one, and make more strokes at the bottom. That will go with the same angle. After that I will make more vertical strokes, so the colors will be blended here as well. And after we did that, the wall is ready. We can also merge these two layers. And go to the second wall. Let's also make a layer above it. Add a clipping mask. and I will pick the color from the roof. Let's apply the shadow. And maybe here we can use stucco. I will just make the size slightly bigger and add the texture like this for the shadow. And we also need to add the shadow that comes from this wooden part. And to do that, I will continue using the same color, but make a layer above it. Also clip it and change the layers mode to multiply, so it'll get slightly darker. Also, we need to change the brush or use selection. In the brushes, I will pick ink bleed and draw 2 lines first. The first one will go from this corner and the second one from this one. We can make the lines parallel to each other. Then connect them on each side and fill. We need to slide to the left to adjust the color drop threshold. Alright, this part of the shading is complete. We can draw the wings. We can now merge all the layers for the windmill and create another one above it. Let's draw only one blade and then duplicate it, so it will be faster. As the base color, I'm going to use number 12. And the brush is set to 10%. We can try to use symmetry. That can be activated in drawing guide. It is already set to vertical. I will just move this line a bit to the side. And click done. It is already assisted, so I will draw like this. 2 lines going with an angle to each other. Now we don't need the drawing assist anymore. And I will draw a line in the middle that will be longer. After that, draw horizontally on top and at the bottom. Now let's divide the shape into 4 parts by drawing more horizontal lines. I will start from here. We can tap on the canvas to make it go horizontally, and then I will draw a few more. And the last one. Let me remove this guide. And after that I will draw a few more lines diagonally. That is the engineering construction. It may go this way, then down, and like this. After that I will switch to white color number 8 to add a few more details. So I will make a line on the left side, then also here, on top of this line, one more, then here in the center, and on the right. Now that we have one blade, let's duplicate the layer. Click on the arrow and flip it vertical. In the snapping settings, I will enable magnetics and drag it down. Put it at some distance, like this. Now we can merge these 2 layers, duplicate it, and maybe move them a bit to the left, so we have more space on the right side, and it won't touch the edge. After that, we can go to one of the layers, click on the arrow again, and rotate it 90 degrees. Merge all the layers for the blades. And after that we need to add perspective to it, so it matches with the windmill. Let's first move it a bit to the left side, without magnetics. Put it on this wooden part Then we can rotate it a little bit clockwise and resize it using uniform transformation. I will just make it a bit smaller, so it will match. Okay, after that, let's switch to distortion. Make this line parallel to the side of the wall. And also this one. Then also this part needs to be parallel to this part of the roof. So I will drag it down like this. And give these two sides parallel as well. Let's put it upper. And I will make a few adjustments, so it looks organic. We can stretch it a little bit. And now it is fine. All the lines are parallel. And the windmill is totally ready. We can work on the background and foreground. Instead of merging, I will group these two layers. And first I want to work on the sky. So let's create a layer and place it right above the background color. First I will grab color number 7 and I will draw a first layer of clouds. Starting from the left side and making curves like this. They will go behind the windmill. And after that we can drag the color under this line. Let's create another layer below this one and change the color to number 6. I think I will increase the size a little bit and draw a bigger shape. Just a few curves. Let's also fill this area and create the last layer for the clouds. This time it needs to be located above this one, but we can actually merge these two. So let's make another layer and grab the lightest color number 8. I will make the size even bigger, like 28%, and start drawing various lines. For example, here. Then I will draw a simple cloud shape starting from here. Make it curvy on top. Then I will continue and make a bigger shape here with a few more curves. At the bottom I will make it straight. Just go to the right side and then fill the shape. We can draw a few more clouds that will be looking like curves. So I will also start from this edge and make a curvy line like this. Make it slightly wider on the left side. Let's also fill this one and draw more. For example, here at the bottom I will draw a thinner line as a curve, and between these two I will draw another cloud. Also make more curves here. And a line at the bottom. Let's connect it and fill. Now the clouds are ready too. Let's start adding the trees. To draw the background trees, let's create a layer above the clouds. And start with the color number 1. The brush size is set to 10%. And I will draw an arc somewhere here. Let's connect it at the bottom. And then fill the shape. If you'd like to adjust it, there is a way to use Liquify tool in push mode. You can push it or pull in different directions. Now let's alpha lock the layer to draw branches inside the shape. I'm gonna use color number 15 for that. Just make the size bigger. Can be set to around 28%. And I will start drawing arcs and lines inside. Changing the pressure to change the size. We can draw a few going to the right side. And just fill all the space. I will draw a few more branches. Also go to this side. Make an arc first, and then a few more. Add smaller shapes here as well. Let me finish it with a few more lines. And after we did that, we can also add some texture. And for that I will create another layer above this one, then clip it. Let's select color number 17, and from the tutorial brush set, pick textured sponge brush. This brush is from the Easy Paint set. It has a few more sponge brushes, various textures and stamps. For this one, let's set the size to around 16% and start tapping on the right side to highlight it, because we decided that the light will come from the right side. I will tap a few times with low pressure, and after that we can move it, rotate and place however we want. Let it be like this. After that we can merge these two layers and create another one below to draw more trees. This time let's select color number 14 and draw a fir tree. The size of the brush is set to 10%, and we can draw a simple shape consisting of triangles. Starting from here and going down, like a children's illustration. The triangles just may get bigger as going down. Let's also draw them on the right side. They may go slightly as arcs. A few more here. Then it will go down as well. We need to connect the shape and fill. Also adjust color drop threshold. And fix the corners. Now that we have the shape, we can add the texture. So let me create a layer above this one. Then also clip it. And I will set it to overlay mode right away. Grab this light yellow color number 18. And also sponge brush. The size here is set to 21%. And I will tap a few times on the right side. We can also move it a little to keep only the right edge highlighted. Like this. Now let's group these two layers. Duplicate it. Go to this one and resize it in freeform. I will stretch it a little up and move to the right. It may go even upper. Like this. Let's now open the group. And move the texture more to the right. to keep the shadow between the two trees. And we can also change its color. So let's first go here, select color number 4 from the palette, and drag it on the shape. Also in the texture, we can change the blending mode. I will set it to normal, and it'll look different. We can try to rotate it even more. Okay, this is how it turned out. I will duplicate this group one more time. And move one of them to the right edge. Let me go back to this layer and highlight it a bit more. So I will tap a few more times on it. And also adjust it. If you like, you can even use distort. Since this one is closer, we can add the branches with the color number 15. Let's just switch to ink bleed. We can make another layer and draw lines inside with a bigger size, like 20%. I will draw a line this way and then smaller ones on the sides, going up with an angle. It may have 1, 2 or 3. And I will also draw on the right. Okay, now these are ready. We can keep them as groups and create another layer to draw a bush on the left. Maybe to have a bit more space here, I will move the windmill slightly to the right. Okay, now that's better. Let's also select color number 14 and foliage brush from the set. This one is from the environment. Let me go back to the new layer. Set the size to 19% or 18 and draw a bush shape by making circular strokes. I will paint it entirely in the center, so it will be like two circles. One of them can be bigger. Alright, now let's alpha lock the layer and select color number 13. Make a few more strokes like this, going inside the bush. And in the end I will apply color number 17 for the highlight. Make strokes mostly on the edge. Now it is done. Let's continue working on the hills, add textures and some minor details. We have this layer, number 3, so I will create another one above it. And select this light color number 16. Let's go to Selection tool and use it in freehand without color fill. I will first draw two arcs here. A short line. And then second arc. Let's tap on it and then create another selection, this time on the big hill. I will also start drawing from here, under the white line, Go to the right side and draw a curvy shape like this. We can tap here and then draw an arc. Let's tap to close the selection. And now that we have two of them, we can select the brush. It will be this pattern flat ink. I'll set the size to 47% and draw inside these two selections without lifting the pencil up. Now we can deselect. Change the color into number 14 and go to create another selection. I will make this one here, starting from the edge and making an arc going to the right. Then I will match it with this edge that we created before. Let's also tap here and make two more smaller selections. The first one will go here, just as a triangle, and then one more at some distance from this one. It will have two arcs. Now let's tap on the brush and paint inside. Deselect it and select color number 11. Create two more selections. The first one will go from here. I will also make it as an arc. Then tap this way and draw one more. Then tap here, go to this side and continue this line. This way we will separate these two hills from each other and it will look like a shadow. Let's go to the right and draw the second arc. Match it with this dot. If you tap on it, then on the brush, we can also paint. Now let's deselect. I will pick yellow color from here and paint this part. We can actually use selection here as well. I will just outline it here on the right side of the shape and then on the white line. Just tap here and click color fill. This is what we will get. When this part is ready, we can proceed to the foreground. First, let's go to the top layer. Pick this light color number 8 and use ink bleed brush to draw a curve here. It will start from the right side and go to the left. This line can go straight like this. Then we need to make it wider here. Let's paint it manually using the pencil. And then draw another line here. Let it go parallel. We'll get a shape like this. Now we can create a layer under this one. Pick light yellow and apply the pattern. But first let's create a selection, so we don't need color fill option here. It will start from this point, and I will also make it curvy. We can simply tap here, then go more to the left side, and continue drawing this curve. Let's tap to connect it. Then select the brush. It's this one. And apply it. It's done. We can only draw the trees on the foreground. And for that I will create a layer on top of all layers. To draw the first tree, I will select color number 3. And also foliage brush. But make the size bigger. 30% will work. I will draw it like this. One circle. And then one more. Paint this area here in the corner. So it's like a heart shape. And to add the texture, I'm gonna use sponge. So let's create a layer on top of this one. Clip it. And pick this color number 17. Also, I will change the layers mode to hard light. Let's pick sponge brush. And set the size to 30%. I'll start tapping this way. And then we can also adjust it by moving and rotating. See what works best. We can also grab a razor, set it to sponge brush, and tap a few times to erase, to make the smooth transition. Okay, after we did that, we can draw the branches. So let's use color number 15 from the palette and ink bleed. I will merge these two layers and create another one above. The size is fine. I will just draw a few curves for the branches, like this. One can go to the right side and another one to the left. Then I will just add a few more. Now this one is ready. I will merge the layers too and create one more layer below. Let's now select color number 14 and go back to foliage brush. With the same brush size, I'll draw a similar shape. Make one circle and another one. I think I will make the size a bit smaller. Okay, that's better. And now that the shape is ready, let's shade it quickly. So I'm creating a new layer, clipping it. And this time I will set it to linear light. Select color number 18. And also use sponge. Let's also tap a few times. We may get different colors while tapping. And after that we can move it. And rotate. Let me also grab a razor. And tap a few times to create the shadow. So now it'll look like this. Actually, we can try different blending modes to see which one will work better. Well, soft light works too, so I'll keep it. Maybe we can also draw a few branches here. So let me grab color number 15 again and ink bleed. I will draw a few lines like this for the branches. They may go to the sides, and then I will make a line like this. It worked even on this layer, so we can merge it. After that, we can create another layer to add some final touches on the foreground. Let's create it below this one. And also the slide color. Ink bleed brush is already selected, and the size is fine. It is at 20%. First we can draw a straight line. That will go like this. And from here, I will draw a few arcs to create this shape for the plant. They may go with different angles and connect at this point. I will just draw a few more arcs. And now that it is ready, I'll duplicate it. Move one of them to the side. We can put it somewhere here. On the same layer, I'm gonna switch between these colors to draw some simple grass blades. So let's start with the first color. I will increase the brush size to 27% and make a few lines. Press more at the bottom. Maybe we can make the size even bigger to make these grass blades thicker, like this. And they will go with different angles. Another one may go here, and then I will change the color into number 3. Draw a few more lines. On the right side, then also here, and maybe we can pick light color to add some smaller details. So I will just draw short lines like this to imitate the grass. The drawing is ready. I only want to add the texture on top. So let me create a new layer. I will pick black color from the color disk and set the layers mode to overlay. There is a canvas texture in the set, so let me use it. The opacity and size are set to maximum, and I will apply it all over the canvas to get this painterly and retro look. The texture looks like this, and at this point, the drawing is complete. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. For more tutorials and brush sets, please check out my Patreon page. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.